Hey guys, so this isn't going to be like a motivational video where you're all pumped up and rearing to go at the end. I want this to be real. I just want to share what I'm experiencing and see if maybe any of you guys are experiencing the same thing. So I'll tell you my struggles and what's been helping me to get through it. So first off, my name is Brandon and I make video games with my wife Nikki. She's the secret wizard on the other side of the camera that does all the art for our games and most of the editing that you see on this channel. And I quit my full-time job and we sold our house, so we rent now. And we're using the money that we made from selling our house to pay our bills while we get this studio up and running. And I did this for so many reasons. One of them being that I just love making video games so much. I have never found anything else in the world that is as fulfilling. But there is a dark side to making games too, especially in a high stakes situation like mine, where I'm racing against the clock to see if I can earn a living before we run out of money. So because I have a YouTube channel and a growing Discord server and a commercial game that I'm working on, and because of the massive leap of faith that I've taken, I feel like I'm supposed to project this image like I've got it all together, mentally and emotionally, all of the time. And I don't. Not at all. Not lately, anyways. I have been having a very, very tough time the last little while. And I'll tell you a little bit about what's been going on and what my day is like, just so that we're on the same page. I work almost all the time. I literally have a block of time scheduled with my wife in the morning before I go downstairs working, where we just talk and connect and bond and do all the good husband and wife stuff. And I do the same for both of my kids at different points throughout the day. I don't force them to, but they seem to enjoy it. So I keep a block of time open where I give them 100% of my attention and focus and time for that time block. I help Nikki with some of the cooking and I help with laundry and dishes and all that stuff. But apart from that, on a day-to-day basis, I work from the time I get up in the morning to about an hour and a half before I go to bed. I make time for the rest of my family on the weekends and I very occasionally play a game online with a friend, but that is all. Now, this is not a problem for me. I'm a hard worker. I always have been and I really love what I do. And if I can keep doing what I'm doing, if I can keep making games and YouTube videos for many years to come, then I'll be extremely happy. The problem is that I feel like I'm failing in every other aspect of my life. I have been working at this full time for just over a year now, and actually on the 1-year anniversary of our YouTube channel, we just started to bring in a little bit of money from YouTube. And even though it's just a little bit, it's actually very, very exciting. And again, this is fine. When you start a YouTube channel, you should expect to make no money for a pretty long time. So I expected that. What I did not expect was how difficult this has been emotionally. When my daughter was born, I worked full-time while Nikki stayed home to take care of the baby. That's just what I got used to. I'm not saying that that's the norm or that's my expectation or anything like that. I don't want to get into gender stuff. I'm just saying that that's been my norm for most of my adult life. And I'm dealing with a shocking amount of shame that I've earned so little income in the last year. It makes me feel like less of a man. Both sides of the business, the YouTube and the game, neither of them are progressing at a rate that seems to make my brain happy. This video that I'm recording right now, this is the second script that I've written today. I feel like I should feel good about that, but I don't, because on days like today where I focus really heavily on YouTube, I'm not going to get any game development done. So it doesn't seem to matter what I work on. If I work on the game, then my brain is pissed at me for not getting ahead on YouTube. And if I work on YouTube, then my brain gets pissed that I'm not working on the game more. And if I work on both, then my brain tells me that I'm a shitty dad and a shitty husband for working so much. And this is despite me knowing that I work hard and I'm progressing as fast as I possibly can. And this is despite me choosing to work on a game and a YouTube channel at the same time. You donkey! The split focus means that both of them are going to grow a little bit slower than they would if I focused on one individually. The other night, Nikki told me that she really missed me and that she hardly ever sees me. And she has every right to feel that way, but that just kind of adds to my feeling like I'm failing as a husband. The fact that I have to schedule time for my kids into my day makes me feel like a dad. I've set some pretty hard boundaries with my parents so that they know at specific times of the day not to call me because they know I'm working at that time. And that sometimes makes me feel like I'm a failure as a son. I know they want to spend more time with me and I just feel...
I feel thin, sort of stretched, like butter scraped over too much bread.
And I have personal stuff that I'm dealing with outside of all of this. So there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of heavy feelings. Hence the title of this video. I feel like I'm failing in every aspect of my life. And I don't really think that this struggle is unique to game developers at all. I think this is something that a lot of artists and entrepreneurs have to deal with. So let me know in the comments down below if you are struggling with anything similar. But we are faced with this insurmountable question, which is, how the hell do we find the strength to keep picking ourselves up every day and keep working so hard despite feeling weighed down by all of our perceived perceived failures. So let me tell you what helps me. I'm still stressed, I'm still tired, I'm still worried, and I'm riddled with fear that I won't be able to continue making games full-time forever. But there are things that really, really help. First, I take a great amount of comfort knowing that I chose this. My life is something that I have built. I didn't just end up being here. I chose this. That alone helps me deal with these feelings on days where I feel like I'm powerless or hopeless. I'm not powerless. Now, whether or not my decision was a good one is up for personal debate, and each and every one of you is going to have your own opinion about it. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not bored. Second, this is gonna sound corny, but I really don't care. Okay, that's bullshit. I do care. I care a lot about what people think of me, and I hate that, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I meditate. I sit down and I meditate. Not as often as I used to. Every once in a while, when I need it, I sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and close my eyes and focus on my breath and what I'm grateful for in my life. That right now, I get to pursue this dream of mine full time. That I have a family that wants to spend time with me in the first place. But this leads me into my next point. If meditation has taught me anything, it is that my brain is a freaking bag. And I don't mean that I'm stupid. I just mean that it is this reactive, scared, judgy organ in my head that spews hot garbage thoughts at me all day long. And I'm not consciously generating these thoughts. It's on complete autopilot. I can't control it. The thoughts just come up. And that is a good reminder to me that just because I'm having thoughts that I'm a failure, that doesn't make it real. They're just thoughts. My failures are just perceived failures. The other thing that's really helped me is just taking small chunks of time throughout the day to really take care of myself. I don't mean a vacation. I don't mean taking even the weekends off necessarily. Just little chunks of time throughout the day. I can be a bit of a stubborn jack sometimes. And I remember when I was having a conversation with Nikki one morning and my ego flew right out of my mouth. And I heard myself say, I am immune to burnout. You will never see me burn out. Now that's complete crap. I have already started to feel a trace of it. It's there in my peripheral, and I need to tread lightly because I cannot afford to burn out right now. My wife needs me, my kids need me, and my business needs me. So I go back to my original point. Take care of yourself. I work at home, obviously, so there are a lot of days where I'm tempted to wake up and not shower and just zip downstairs and start working. All right, a lot of the days I do that. Showering is taking care of yourself. So on the days that I don't do it in the morning, I at least do it later on in the afternoon. 3 to 4 times a week, when I need it, I will just lie down for 15 minutes. And actually, it's usually enough for me to feel pretty refreshed and relaxed by the end of it. I live 5 minutes away from Lake Ontario, so on days where I'm really stressed, I'll take my dog for a walk down at the lake and just soak up all the scenery there. Sometimes I'll do a Sudoku puzzle. High intensity exercise is something that really helps me deal with stress, and I should do it more often than I do because it helps me burn away a lot of my stress. And I could keep going. The point is not what specific activity I do. The point is I try to find little windows of time throughout the day to do little things that I enjoy doing. Playing video games, that is my happy place a lot of the time. I have trouble making time to do that, but I'm often in a really good mood when I'm done that. The whole point here is I have a goal, and that goal has a timeline on it. I'm not really willing to slow down. I'm not really willing to cut back hours. I'm not willing to do less than my best so that I can earn a living doing what I'm doing right now. But that choice comes with sacrifices. So even if I work all day, 7 days a week for the next couple of years, I can keep going. Will it be stressful? Yes. Will it be fulfilling? Yes. But the point is, if you have to do that, take little chunks of time throughout the day to do things that you enjoy. Be selfish for 20 minutes and insert some joy into your day. Now, my last point, I actually really don't agree with working 7 days a week all the time. I do feel it's important to take a day here and there, a full day of rest. I don't need every Saturday and Sunday off, but every once in a while, I need a full day of rest, and sometimes more importantly, fun. Thanks for listening, guys. I want to know your thoughts on everything, on what was said in this video. Am I full of it? Am I spot on? How did you like this kind of content? Did you find it uplifting or depressing or a little bit of both? I'm still, after a year, kind of finding my footing on YouTube, but every comment I get makes me better because I know what resonates with you guys and what doesn't. Anyways, bye guys. See you in the next one. I want to thank all of our generous Patreon supporters: Jakub Yondok, Zonder Kessler, Darren Perrine, Throbbing Wind, Fontaine Waite, Couch, and Zyoma. Head on over to our Patreon page if you want early access to all our videos, monthly alpha builds, and more.